Hey everybody, Dave here. Last year I was pretty active on these Facebook pages, um, typing in stuff and learned a lot from what you guys needed in the lead up into the race. And although we'll make this a lot about Ironman Santa Rosa, a lot of it will be applicable to Santa Rosa 70.3. So I'm going to try this format, well, once a week or maybe once every other week, to bring you some tidbits, especially for those that don't live in the area or the race is new to you. And there's also going to be some changes with the race as well. So if we do this maybe every other week, or like I said, every week to start, and when we get close to the race, so definitely do it every week, or maybe even a couple times a week if there's a demand for it. I know as the race gets closer, there just tends to be more animosity and anxiety and nerves and questions around the race. So what I'd like to do is I'll drop this live hangout in the Facebook pages, and then you can comment on the Facebook pages, or if you have questions, or if you can subscribe to this channel, comment there. And then if you have questions, I'll either type them back in or I'll pull them back up the next video that we do those. So we'll sort of have an ongoing content running. And what I'd like to do is every time I do one, have three pieces of it. So if there's a logistics piece, which we'll do one of those today. The second piece we'll do is a general course piece. Maybe we'll take the courses and break them down in chunks, including transitions, because this race, especially T1, is a long one and it's a little more dynamic. And then a little training component, sort of where I think athletes should be, where I want my athletes to be, not necessarily where they are at this point. So there won't be long videos. Dave Reed, your race director, does a really nice job pulling Facebook Live events together, and he'll have all the details. And so you know where I'm coming from and my background relative to this race. I live in Santa Rosa. I'm in downtown Santa Rosa right now in my office, which is housed inside Echelon Cycle and Multisport. And so I'm a coach. That's what I do. I'm a coach full time. I'm also an instructor at Santa Rosa Junior College as well, and coach there too. So it's really what I do. The other thing too, you'll see is at Ironman Santa Rosa, I'll be doing all your race briefings. I'll be involved in the announcing team there at Ironman Santa Rosa, and then same thing at Santa Rosa 70.3. I also work Santa Cruz 70.3, and where I'm doing the announcing there, and then some local events, running events, and things like that. So pretty diverse in terms of the community here. And then as far as training goes, and know all the roads and all the routes and the logistics. So I'll try to bring that to you the best that I can. So let's go. First thing we'll talk about is logistics. The biggest question that I see right now, or concerns that I have right now, and they're sort of twofold, is where do I stay? And how is that relative to getting to T1 in the morning? So do I take the shuttle or not? And as far as where you can stay, there's a lot of hotels. We did lose, and I'll talk about the fires in a moment, but we did lose a couple of hotels in the fire. And you probably, because of some of the people that lost homes, we'll lose some of our Airbnb locations that people would stay, but also lost that in VRBO. So losing some of those. So I just had someone pop their head and I'll get it back. So the second thing is as you do hotels, they're going to get, the farther you get stretched out from downtown. So if you want to stay close to downtown, the easiest hotels, and I'm not sure what's available and what's not, is Courtyard by Marriott, Hyatt, Hotel La Rose. There's a new hotel called the Astro Motel, which the first three I gave you are definitely walking distance to T2. You can see Luca back there. That's our dog, Luca. And you also have the Flamingo Resort, which is probably a mile and a half away from T2. And then you have the Azura Hotel, which I don't really know a lot about, but that's all those could be walking distance if you really wanted to, but they're very close. So that's the thing. And most people are asking, and I'm just going to talk from an athlete standpoint right now, not spectators. We can address that in another one. But the easiest and logistically the easiest thing to do is take the provided shuttle from downtown on race morning, get dropped off right at T1. It's the easiest way to do it. Again, we can address spectators at a different time because that dynamic is much different. But as far as the athletes and you getting there, the shuttle is by far the easiest thing that you can do. That way, if you stay in one of the hotels at your walking distance, you walk in, get on the shuttle, and off you go. And you don't have to worry about any other travel logistics on race morning. So we can address the other stuff as it comes along, or if questions come up, spectators and how the spectators will handle that. And we can help your Sherpas manage race day. What's a little different with two transition areas, and they're split, and we're split by 30 plus miles. So there's some planning that needs to be done ahead of time, and we'll get into that, especially your planning too, as far as dropping your bike off the day before. But anyway, second piece I want to get into, course changes, and specifically bike course. The run course is swim course presumably will be how it was swum last year. And the run course right now appears to be the same thing, 3 loops, a lot of it on the creek trail. And we'll address these pieces as they come up a little bit later. But the bike course is going to change. In my conversation with Dave Reed, he's indicated that, very smartly so, that because of some of the requests from the athletes and the athlete feedback, they're looking at changes. So the course is going to change. And I also think now we have our smart train running, which is running the north-south corridor from northern Santa Rosa down to San Rafael, all the way into Marin County. And that would cross last year's course a number of times. So and that's coming into play too, as far as how they're going to route the course, would be my guess. So look for that course change. It's going to happen. They're going to take away some of the stuff that was from concerns last year from athletes, be it certain roads, safety, quality of roads, and that will change. And as soon as we get that change up, I'll pull together another one of these and maybe announce it ahead of time. And we can go over that course in detail. I mean, I know a lot about the Sonoma County roads, probably ridden a large majority of them, especially anything that you want to race on, and we can address that. So that's something to be aware of, and keep your eyes on the website. And the last thing I want to talk about is training. And everyone's in a different place, so it's hard to say where everyone is and how to approach it. Some people have been at it for a while, have a good foundation. Some people are just sort of getting back into the process. And one of my things that I like to do with my athletes is we're 17 weeks out, and we would have started this much sooner, is start to invest time in our swim training. Yeah, we're swimming, we're cycling, we're running, we're doing what's appropriate this time of year, or in this time relative to an Ironman being 17 weeks out. But this time of year being winter, even for us here in Northern California, although we're having probably one of the nicest days we've had in a while, it's 60s and sunny, and but we've had some rain and we've had some cold weather and fog and misty kind of weather, which is pretty standard for us this time of year. So you don't get to get outside as much as you might like to otherwise. So I like to have my athletes get their swimming going early, bring their swim fitness level up. So when it comes time to invest in your cycling outdoors, or just your cycling in general, a little bit more in better weather, and we need to invest more in our running as the more influential period of training comes up, then we can do it at that time. So if you're not on your swimming, get on your swimming. What we really strive for with my athletes, our Train to Endure group, and the athletes that I coach is, we want that swim, especially in an Ironman. Speed isn't necessarily a thing, but we want good aerobic function and muscular endurance. At the end of the day, I want that swim to take as little out of my athletes as possible so they can make the most of the rest of their day. Whether the rest of the day is another 8, 9, 10, 15 hours, it doesn't matter. Let's make the swim as non-impactful on the rest of your day as possible. So that's my advice to you as far as swimming and getting that swimming going. Gradually ramp it up. But if you're going to get to the pool, it takes you all that time to transit and to change and get dressed and shower and everything else. Spend an extra 10 or 15 minutes, which is an extra 500 or 750 yards or meters in the pool. invest in that extra aerobic endurance without having the impact of running or cycling, and invest in that race and invest in the back half of your race by improving your swimming. So that's all I have for you right now. Comment as you'd like, ask questions as you like, make some feedback, what you'd like to hear or see. If this is useful for you, if it's not, we won't do it. But I think it might be useful, and we'll keep bringing this to you on these Facebook pages. And then you can also follow and subscribe on the channel as you want. Feel free to reach out and get in touch with me on those areas, and then we can go from there. Good luck with your training. Stay healthy. That's the key. Build up slowly. And I'll see you soon, but we'll also see you in May. And good luck with your training.